Do you feel like you're getting there in a way? I mean, there was times in the third quarter on Saturday that it looked like you're right in it. Do you feel like it's building?
Yeah, well, we were in a position to win the game. There's no doubt. I mean, our volume of entry in the last quarter, we ran the game out well. They were able to defend us, but we had a bunch of opportunities that we didn't take in front of goal. You know, Cam's mark, we played on, Goldie's set shot, Youngie's set shot. So, yeah, we felt that our processes were really solid all the way through the game.
Did you end up having a chat to the umpires afterwards? Did you get anything?
No, I had a chat with Richo. So it's more an explanation, as I sort of said, from an understanding of how, I guess, we can approach our game a bit better as well. A couple of the 50s that we gave away were just, they're little fades in our game that we can't have. There's a little bit of discipline around that. But yeah, I've spoken to Richo about some of the decisions. So look, and it's difficult. I think the two areas that I think are difficult to umpire and get clarity is holding the ball, tackles at times and prior opportunity, and they've got a large range of decision-making processes to go through, so that becomes difficult. And then the marking contests are the other one that I think it's a difficult one for them at the moment. So, and look, we know in talking to Richo, they're working really hard on their process and getting better at their decision-making. So, but yeah, we got some clarity around a couple.
The deliberate out of bounds, did he tell you that was just an error on the night?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I think everyone's in agreement that Cam wasn't inside 50 having a shot going for a stoppage. So it's a difficult one. From our side of things, I would have rather him kick the goal. But yeah, look, it's the same with us. We go through our tape really closely and we look at our guys and go, oh, hang on, how come you made that decision rather than that one? So, pressure builds and it's out there and we understand that it's not a perfect game for anyone.
Stevenson and Bono this week, disappointing for those two guys?
Yeah, it is. It brings probably Trent back into the equation, maybe a tad quicker, but he's had a couple of good weeks. But yeah, and both of those guys have been going really well. Bon didn't have a great start on Goey, but Steve-O's been really solid. In hindsight, the review of his game, I thought he was fantastic, what he delivered. 4 or 5 shots on goal. I thought his tackles are really good. His pressure was terrific at a level that we expected to be at. So, yeah, opportunity. We'll just keep looking at who comes in. So we've got some guys in some pretty reasonable form underneath, albeit it's difficult with the VFL. And I think Leigh Adams and Brandy are doing a great job with how they're coaching the VFL. So, but yeah, that's what it is.
They got smashed by injury as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, we had, I think at one stage we had 17 on the field, and I think one of the field umpires was going to pay a free because we hadn't had the right numbers, and we're sort of going, hang on, we've only sort of got 17 available. So, so that was difficult, and they did a great job up in Queensland last week.
There are injury crises and then there are injury crises.
Yeah.
Have you gone beyond tipping point
No,
now?
not quite, I don't think. I mean, we've got a few that are due back post our bye, which is really good. A big chunk of them for us have been collision, this year. They haven't been soft tissue, so they're difficult ones to plan against and around. I still think we're in reasonable shape. I think one of the key things for us that I think our fans are seeing is we've still got really good energy in our team. Great opportunity for all our guys to deal with adversity, but the expectation from me is to turn up and perform. So regardless of, we can't get to the game and then hope that Luke McDonald's in the team or Aidan Corr's in the team. I mean, the team's the team on the day. And we go out to battle, and there's an expectation, I think, as you said before, Riley, that the systems are getting better, and that's the expectation for us.
Patrick Dangerfield said yesterday that until the cuts to start, thinks that maybe that's contributing, that there's less eyeballs on all the players, and that maybe that's why there's more injuries across the league in general, not just at your club.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to that at all?
No, not in our case, from our footy club. And the reason that I would say that, sir, is that I'm dealing with what we've currently got. I'm not looking at what we could have or what's been in the past because I'm new here. What I've worked with Brady is what we've got. Our medical staff, structure-wise, good. Coaches, I feel like we've got enough. You can always do with more. Like, I understand that concept, but I'm really comfortable with the experience and what we've got. I think what we've tried to do is just prioritise, as all clubs probably would. There's probably not the availability to explore on a deeper level what you would with more people in your organisation. So I think you just prioritise, you become really efficient with what you do and sell your message or educate your message and then move on.
A bit of commentary this week around priority picks.
Yeah.
Do you think the club needs one? Do you think you'd be part of
I'd love one. Absolutely, I'd love one. Yeah, why wouldn't we? If we're in a situation where that mechanism can be activated, I'm all for it, absolutely. At the previous place I was, we applied for it, and if it helps us and we feel we're entitled to that mechanism being activated, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you feel like the club's entitled to one?
I think it may be a bit early. I think if you stopped it now, I go, yeah, we do. Yeah, we could do with a bit more help. So, the rest of the year will probably determine that, but we're certainly interested in speaking to the AFL about a pick.
So you haven't applied for one yet, but it is sort of a possibility?
Well, no, that's probably from an admin perspective. I don't know whether or not those conversations have started to be had, but from a coaching sense, yeah, I'd certainly be keen for the club to talk to the AFL about it.
You saw what it did for Brisbane. I think they got an end of first in 2016. Yep. How much can it actually, additional draft picks, help rebuild the club when they're in a position like that?
I think what it does, mate, it gives you flexibility. So within your strategy of your list management, it's either one, you bring additional talent in, or two, you've got flexibility to manoeuvre your way through the trade period. You can also secure something and trade something forward into the future. So then, that banks you something forward as well. So, I think as part of an overall strategy for us as a club, it becomes a pretty big discussion point.
Is Tristan Xerri getting close?
He is, yeah. The issue that we've had, unfortunately, for Big X is that we haven't been able to play him forward much, with the structure and the lack of another tall in our ruckman in our VFL. But his contest work, his ruck craft over the last probably 2 or 3 weeks has really escalated. Had a bunch of clearances last week. His second efforts have really come well. So yeah, he's applying some pressure, no doubt. So, we've told him that we're keen to play 2 rucks in our team, and he knows that he's got to put pressure on either Goldie or Tom to take their spot. So his performances the last 2 or 3 weeks have been really good.
Playing Hawthorn down in Launceston, is it the same sort of aura about it, I guess, that it used to when they were a dominant side down there?
I'm not sure. I'm not looking at it probably through that lens. Maybe that some other people or yourself is. I think it's an opponent just for us this week. Get our systems in place, get our processes right, and chase the win. So that's what we're about. And I feel like we've explained ourselves really well over the previous few weeks, and I think it's been misinterpreted. We go out every week to win. I don't know where this discussion's come from or why we're chasing the process. You've got to get the goddamn process right to win. Like, a lot of football people in the industry would know that. So I don't know what's been taken out of context, but I've said publicly we go into each game to win. So that shouldn't be taken out of context. The way you get there is you have to hit that process really hard. That's the fact. Put the win before the process, you fall over. Yeah, yes, we will. I think the discussion around is it for immediate or for future? I think it's probably more for future. I think that's the method that we'll look at. Doesn't mean that you wouldn't consider a 22, 3, 4-year-old, because they may also help you with your future as well. A little bit around your needs. I think there's a good discussion, a bit of time frame for us to look at that, but I think it's a bit more for the future. I think that's how we're currently looking at it. And whether we have 1 or 2, we're not quite sure. So I would think in some of the discussions in the next couple of weeks here, if there's enough talent, you probably want to have 2. If not, you have 1 and move on.